Hi, I'm John Upshaw, and I am a UX designer at Evisions. Getting here was not an easy feat. I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I'm going to tell you my entire story because it's very unique. I didn't actually come from a prestigious background. I didn't go to prestigious school. So I'm going to go over the first part of this. When I was in college, I was in a group of graphic design students, and my entire experience in college was defined by me being different from everyone else. And this is because everyone else had one particular goal in mind, and that was to work at an advertising agency or work for a design studio. Whereas I actually wanted to become a UX designer, and I fell in love with the field when a man named Skip Shelley came from Carnegie Mellon University and introduced us to the concept of UX design back in 2018. And ever since then, I had fallen in love with UX. But the only problem was that our school and our program wasn't designed to teach UX. We hadn't had any kind of UX training implemented in our college programs. And so I had started from a point where I was at a disadvantage. I had saved up about $2,100 the previous year to get a car. And once I had gotten that vehicle, I could go to Atlanta because I knew that that was the city where opportunity was everywhere. And so I made it my goal to visit Atlanta and go around the city and go to as many networking events as I could. And for about 8 months, I actually went to every networking event that I could that was design related. I literally collected business cards from a lot of different people. And this was my way of just getting to know people and really getting involved in the design community. And it actually worked out very well because I was able to expose myself to a lot of different people from many different backgrounds. And it was also intimidating because everyone had master's degrees and they had all of these really fancy job titles. But listening to those people talk really gave me a great understanding as to how they did their jobs. So in order to get to Atlanta, I knew that I had to have a strategy and there needed to be a plan that when executed would actually increase my chances of getting a job within the city of Atlanta. Now, as you know, in the end, I didn't get a job in Atlanta. I actually got a job at a place based in California, but it's a remote position, which is fantastic. But as eventually my entire life became defined by this strategy, and I would stay up late at night teaching myself UX. I had actually enrolled in an online university, and I spent late nights teaching myself, building websites, getting freelance clients. I had read books on design systems, service design, design strategy on my spare time. And at the time, I had worked at a chemical warehouse, which had nothing to do with UX, nothing to do with corporate design. So I was working two different jobs and going to school and attending another online school to get these certifications in UX so that I could more than likely get a job upon graduation. And that effort is what defined my journey as a designer. Because the idea of self-teaching is a very powerful tool. Whenever you think about it, you own every part of your own life experience. And you can create your own reality if you really take the time to actually teach yourself. Because we live in an age where you can literally learn anything you want online. And I realized that if I could spend as little resources as possible and learn as much as I could within the finite time that I had, I would increase the amount of opportunity that I could potentially have just tenfold. And so whenever I actually met James and Archie and all those guys, I really was able to understand the true meaning behind the reason I pursued UX design as a career. So I had to figure out my why. And it couldn't be more money. It couldn't be more prestige. It had to be a real reason. And that reason I realized was that I wanted to help people and I wanted to benefit the world. I wanted to benefit humanity. And that really is what helped me get to where I am today. And eventually, upon graduating university, I'd spent months applying for jobs, and I had met someone who actually referred me to a recruiter because I had been getting rejected constantly. And when I had applied for Evisions, I had actually beat out about 5 different people for the job. And some of those people had graduate degrees. And when I found that out, I was actually really surprised that my skill set was that unique and my background was that sufficient for the role. And when I had gotten the job, I was faced with imposter syndrome because I was like, there's no way these people picked me. for my skill set. It was clearly luck, and I'm just now settling into my design role now. Whereas I feel confident in what I do because I have helped people plan a lot of different global design events. I've done a lot of volunteering for people, and I've really come to enjoy giving back to the design community. And it's been a very rewarding experience because helping other people succeed has been my main goal, even before I got my design job that I have now. And working as a UX designer and collaborating with other people has really helped me understand how other people think. And it helps me put myself in other people's shoes, especially developers who have more technical expertise. So in conclusion, my design journey was defined by struggle and by adversity, but in teaching myself and taking ownership of my own life, I was able to achieve my dreams, even without having a fancy university degree.